Is this linen cloth the authentic burial shroud of Jesus of Nazareth? Or is it one of the most intricate and enduring hoaxes in history? For centuries, the Shroud of Turin has captivated, confused, and inspired millions. It's a mystery woven into the very fabric of faith and science. Today, we're going to unravel the story behind this enigmatic relic, examining the evidence, the controversies, and the profound questions it forces us to ask. The Shroud of Turin is a rectangular linen cloth, measuring about 14 feet by 3.5 feet. It bears the faint, sepia-toned image of a man, front and back, who appears to have been crucified. The markings on the cloth are chillingly detailed, showing wounds consistent with those described in the biblical accounts of the Crucifixion. Lacerations from a scourge puncture wounds on the brow like those from a crown of thorns, a wound in the side, as if from a spear, and nail wounds in the wrists and feet. The image itself is what's called a negative. It's only when you see a photographic negative of the shroud that a positive, lifelike image truly emerges. This discovery in 1898 by amateur photographer Secondor Pia was a turning point, catapulting the shroud into the modern era of scientific inquiry. How could a medieval artist have created a photographic negative centuries before the invention of photography? The known history of the shroud begins in the mid-14th century in Liry, France, where it was displayed by a knight named Geoffroy de Charny. From the very beginning, it was controversial. The local bishop, Pierre d'Arcis, wrote a memorandum to the Pope, claiming it was a clever painting and that the artist had even confessed. Despite this, devotion to the shroud grew. It passed through the hands of the House of Savoy in 1453 and was eventually moved to its current home in the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in Turin, Italy, in 1578. Over the centuries, it survived fires, wars, and intense scrutiny. One such fire in 1530 left scorch marks and water stains, which are still visible today, framing the central image like a somber halo. These marks, along with patches sewn on by poor Clare nuns to repair the damage, have become part of the shroud's unique and complex history. But where was it before the 14th century? This is where the story gets even more mysterious. Some researchers propose a link to another famous relic, the image of Edessa, also known as the Mandalion. This was a cloth said to bear the miraculous image of Jesus' face, which was revered in the Byzantine Empire for centuries before disappearing during the sack of Constantinople in 1204. Proponents of this theory suggest the shroud, folded in a way that only the face was visible, was in fact the Mandalion. They point to unique artistic parallels between the face on the shroud and depictions of Jesus in Byzantine art starting around the 6th century, suggesting the shroud served as the new prototype. If this connection is real, it would trace the shroud's history back much further, closer to the time of Jesus. However, this is a theory built on historical interpretation and lacks definitive proof. The real clash between faith and reason ignited in 1988 with the now famous carbon-14 dating tests. 3 separate, prestigious laboratories at Oxford, Zurich, and the University of Arizona were given small samples of the shroud. Their results were unanimous and seemed to settle the debate once and for all. They dated the linen cloth's origin to between 1260 and 1390 AD, perfectly aligning with its first appearance in France and supporting the bishop's claim that it was a medieval creation. For many, the case was closed. The Shroud of Turin was declared a masterpiece of medieval forgery. But the story doesn't end there. In the years since, many scientists and researchers have raised serious questions about the validity of that 1988 test. The main argument centers on the sample itself. The piece of cloth tested was taken from a corner of the shroud that had been handled extensively over the centuries and, more importantly, was part of an area that had been repaired by nuns after the 1530 fire. Critics, like chemist Ray Rogers, argued that this corner was a blend of the original linen and newer cotton threads from the medieval repair, a process known as invisible reweaving. Rogers published a paper in a peer-reviewed journal suggesting the sample was not representative of the main cloth and was chemically different. This, he claimed, skewed the carbon dating results, making the shroud appear much younger than it really is. This has reopened the debate, with many now calling for new, more comprehensive tests on different parts of the shroud. Beyond the dating controversy, the nature of the image itself remains a scientific puzzle. How was it formed? It's not a painting. Microscopic analysis has shown no paint pigments, no brush strokes, and no directionality. The image resides only on the topmost fibrils of the linen threads. It doesn't soak through like a liquid would. It's incredibly superficial. It's also not a scorch. While it has some properties of a scorch, experiments to replicate it with a hot statue or bas relief have failed to reproduce the unique 3D and negative properties of the image. The image contains three-dimensional information. Scientists at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory a VP8 image analyzer, a device used to map planetary surfaces from photos, and found that the varying shades of the image correspond to the distance between the cloth and the body it once covered. This is not a characteristic of a simple painting or a scorch. It suggests the image was formed by some process that projected from the body to the cloth. So, if it's not a painting, not a scorch, and not a photograph, what is it? Many theories have been proposed. One popular hypothesis suggests a burst of radiation or energy from the body caused an accelerated aging or discoloration of the linen fibers, creating the image. This, of course, ties directly into the theological concept of the resurrection, with some believers suggesting the image was seared onto the cloth at the moment of Christ's rising. While scientifically untestable, it remains a powerful idea for many. Other, more naturalistic theories have been put forward, such as a chemical reaction between burial ointments and gases released by the body, but none have successfully replicated all the unique features of the shroud image. The mechanism of its formation remains an unsolved mystery. It's a scientific dead end, a puzzle that no one has been able to crack. Ultimately, the Shroud of Turin exists at a crossroads. For believers, it is a sacred object, a tangible link to Jesus, a visual gospel that deepens their faith. The markings are not just stains on a cloth. They are a silent, powerful testimony to the Passion story. For skeptics, it's the world's most fascinating forgery, a testament to human ingenuity and gullibility. For scientists, it is a unique artifact that defies easy explanation, pushing the boundaries of what we know about chemistry, physics, and history. Whether it's an authentic relic, a medieval masterpiece, or something else entirely, its power lies in its ambiguity. It doesn't offer easy answers. Instead, it invites us to question, to investigate, and to wonder. The shroud remains what it has always been, an enduring and profound mystery. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into one of history's greatest enigmas. What do you believe? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy exploring mysteries like this one, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the unknown. We'll see you next time.